Hi, my name is Pam Aylward. I want to address the issue of when you keep trying to resolve a specific issue in your relationship, and each time you try to address it, you're met with a lot of resistance. It takes a lot of thought and self-awareness and objectivity to recognize a dysfunctional pattern. But if you do find a pattern, isn't it in your best interest to try to address it despite the knowledge, the history, the fear, the anxiety that it might conjure up when you try to address it with your partner? If there's something that is important to you, but you keep getting resistance to even talking about it, there's no way to resolve it, is there? I mean, you can pick it apart and figure out how you can resolve it from your end, and it still continues to happen. What choices do you have to move forward? Do you decide to accept that that's just the way it is with this relationship? Or do you try harder to stuff down your feelings about the issue? Do you confront your partner and try to force them to resolve it with you, even if they can't acknowledge it? It's a tricky situation to be in, and it doesn't feel very good. I know. I've dealt with that. Problem is, when you don't resolve a thing like that that keeps coming up in your relationship, it will continue to come up as long as it does not get resolved. It starts to build resentment, and resentment is the killer of any relationship. Been there, done that. We cannot be afraid to express our deepest needs authentically, without shame. This is who we are. This thing keeps happening. We recognize it. We've tried to control the outcome by owning how that makes us feel without blaming, without accusations. What do you do? What do you do if they refuse to acknowledge any of their responsibility for the pattern? It takes two to tango, doesn't it? Some people are really uncomfortable with emotions, feelings, and they can take you voicing and speaking up about something that you notice that has an impact on you as criticism, as attack. Even if you are extremely careful about how you bring it up, even if you try really hard to keep yourself focused on the outcome that you're trying to achieve by having the conversation in the first place. Too many people don't realize that when you're in a relationship with someone that you claim to love, want to be with, cherish, respect, all of that stuff, that you have a voice. The key to being able to understand each other and resolve problems that cause distress and disconnection between you is to communicate about it. If you can't communicate, you don't have much of a foundation to work with. It's so important. Some people really, really struggle in this department based on their ability to communicate, their past experiences, their insecurities. All that aside, we have to try. And when you're met with resistance, you don't nag, you don't assume the worst. You just have to figure out, okay, can I live with this pattern continually arising in this relationship? What can I do to minimize the impact that it has on me? Is it completely within my control, or are there things that I need from my partner to be able to feel respected and trusted and loved in this relationship? Our needs are never exactly the same as the other person. We all have basic needs that vary, but when a need of yours continues to be dismissed, not acknowledged, somewhat stonewalled, and ignored, how do you deal with that? It's too easy to say, oh, well, anybody that would do that would be a narcissist or toxic, or they don't love you. The main thing is to know who you are and what you need, and to be able to articulate what you need. You can't make them want to acknowledge what isn't working. We all have free will. All you can do in a situation like that is to take care of your own needs, self-soothe, do things that make you feel good, not pressure them. Isn't that the point? You don't want somebody to start doing something just because you pointed it out. They have to want to do something because they want to. And if that doesn't come naturally to them, and you've communicated, nobody's a mind reader, But if you've clearly communicated verbally, in print, text, email, whatever, letter, if you still can't get through to them, what choice do you have? You have to respect yourself and love yourself enough to honor your authenticity, who you are as a person, as a human being. We have feelings. We have thoughts. They come and go, and it is up to us to notice our thought patterns. It's not the other person's responsibility to make us feel good all the time, obviously. But if there is a pattern that you notice that keeps coming up almost predictably, and it still continues to be dismissed, swept under the rug, ignored, excused, stonewalled, you have to really think about whether or not the relationship is healthy. If they can't meet you halfway, that's not healthy. And inevitably, if you don't speak up and try to address it, you're accepting it, enabling it to continue. Tough situation, I know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. How have you overcome a situation like that? Or have you just thrown your hands in the air and just accepted that, oh, okay, I guess that issue is just something I'm going to have to accept as what I will have to experience in this relationship as long as I'm in it. How important is it to you? And what can you do so that it doesn't drag you down? It doesn't throw you into depression. It doesn't derail your thoughts so that you're constantly ruminating on what's happening. I look forward to hearing from you.